Over 2,000 years ago, in the great city of Alexandria, where the Mediterranean Sea met the desert sands, lived a man who would forever change the way we understand shapes, space, and mathematics. His name was Euclid, the father of geometry. You might be thinking, great, another brainy history lesson. But trust me, this is going to be fun. Euclid was like the Michael Jordan of math. He didn't invent everything, but he totally changed the game. He showed us how to understand the world by breaking it down into shapes and measurements. No more guessing, only understanding. Imagine a world without Euclid. No buildings because we can't measure angles or calculate areas. No maps, no blueprints, no science. With Euclid, we can explain the world with numbers and shapes. That's why he's called the father of geometry. But what makes Euclid so epic? Well, back then, people knew a ton of geometry facts, but they were all over the place. Euclid changed that. He wrote a book called Elements. It was like the first ever math textbook, but with a twist. You see, Euclid didn't just collect math facts. He organized them into a logical system. He started with basic shapes and measurements, points, lines, angles, and planes. Then he built more complex shapes like triangles and squares. And with each shape, he defined key properties and relationships. For example, he proved that a triangle's angles always add up to 180 degrees. Thanks, Euclid. But he didn't stop there. Euclid also gave us a way to prove these relationships, a step-by-step method of reasoning that's still used today. It's called Euclidean proof. Basically, you start with known facts or definitions, then use logic and previous proofs to reach your conclusion. Boom! Euclid's proof is like a mathematical detective story, where you gather clues to solve the mystery. And just like a good detective, Euclid's method is systematic, logical, and airtight. That's why his work was so influential. For over 2,000 years, students and scholars studied Euclid's Elements. It was like the OG math book. In fact, Euclid's work influenced some of history's greatest thinkers, from Archimedes to Newton. They built on Euclid's ideas to develop calculus, physics, and other advanced math concepts. So next time you're in geometry class, remember to thank Euclid. He gave us the building blocks of geometry, the shapes, the proofs, and most importantly, the logic to understand the world around us. Without Euclid, we wouldn't have pyramids, buildings, bridges, or even maps. So let's raise a toast to the one and only Euclid, the father of geometry.